Hey, you did it. You found it. You found the podcast version of the show. It's Writer Radio. Here are the things you need to know. We stream live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time at writerradio.com. 2, you can find every episode on YouTube, youtube.com/@writerradio. We're on Spotify, same name, Writer Radio. We are on Twitter or X @BradWriter, BradRiter. We're on Instagram @Writer Radio. There's a group now, Writer Radio Facebook group. Go there, find that, follow that, like it, whatever you have to do. We've got a phone number. You can send texts, leave voicemail, 716-288-5246. Email, bradwriter@gmail.com. You don't need to memorize this. It can all be found at writerradio.com. That's the hub. But those are the places. Thanks for listening. Please tell a friend. Please share. That's how we grow. Glad to have you on board to the podcast version of Writer Radio. Yo. What's up, America and the world? It's me, Brad. It's Writer Radio. Hello. Sorry for all the music. I wanted to play so many songs. There are so many songs that I want to fit into the show. I would be much more comfortable if the show was 80% music, 20% Brad, FM radio style. That'd be a piece of cake. So easy. I played stuff today that I like. It's a thing to me where my mom listens. I know my mom is listening. This is the way I've always felt every time I'm doing a show. I watch, like, I always reference this, but Kill Tony. I watch Kill Tony. The people go on there, they say anything they want. Their moms aren't listening or watching. They don't have to. My mom is there all the time. She's just there. So I can't play King Kunta. But I can do whatever I want. I'm 50 years old. I don't have to make sure my mom likes the show. The Dan Band is funny. They're funny when they play Total Eclipse of the Heart. Funny to everyone except my mom. But you know what? I'm just going to pretend my mom's not listening. I would be so much better at this if I could always pretend my mom wasn't listening. I'm more interesting in real life than I am when I talk into a microphone. Because in real life, I look around, I don't see her Ford Edge. I'm all set. I can say whatever I want. It's better. Mom, I appreciate you listening. But sometimes I'm going to play songs with swear words in them. Bad words. It'll be fine. No worries. All right. What's up? It's Writer Radio. It's episode 138. I didn't write the date on my sheet of paper. August 6th. Holy crap. We're already at August 6th, which means school starts like tomorrow, right? What do I need? These children are always home. Especially this week. This week there's no camps or anything, which is good show-wise because I don't have to leave 10 minutes early to go pick anybody up or anything like that. But from like a life standpoint, these children are just here the whole time. I'm worried about what I say on the show because of Mom. I'm worried about what I say at home because the kids are always here. Man. All right, so this is the part where, in theory, I would talk about everything that happened on Hard Knocks last night, right? That's what I would do. Except I didn't watch Hard Knocks last night. I can't wait to watch it. Like, part of me wants to say, hang on a sec, hang on an hour, I'm going to watch this show, and then we'll talk about it. That was the first thing written on my sheet here is Hard Knocks. Actually, the first thing written is, how do we get a Reddit thread? Do any of you speak Reddit? Reddit is super fun, conversational website message board chatting thing. It's awesome. Basically, anytime I have a real question, like I want to know, what do I do about... Here's an example. Right now, I have 3 screens in front of me. at the computer. Not counting the phone. That's another screen, I guess. But my regular setup here for the show. And I have popcorn in my teeth. This stinks. Come on. Get out of there. All right. So the regular setup for the show, I have a laptop that's plugged into this like USB hub thing that allows for all these monitors and speakers and printers and things. External drives. I got a hard drive. I got a CD drive. I got all kinds of stuff hooked up here. But I've got 3 computers set up, or 3 monitors, excuse me, in front of me. One is the one that's on the computer, and then 2 more. And I use all of them. One right now has all of the music stuff on it. All this right here, this crap. I can play this because it's live. All this stuff. I love this song, by the way. I got that. You know, it's got this. It's got this. Right. It's got this.
What are you doing for lunch?
No, we're not doing that yet because it's not time. But all the stuff you hear that's not me talking, most of it, anyway, comes from that screen. So that's to my right. In front of me is the live stream thing. I've got the chat there. I just use Reddit for porn. That's not what I'm looking for, Arbo. Looking for help here, buddy. Come on now. I want to go drifting. Great first night of Hard Knocks. Good morning, Writer Radio Land. Yeah. Hell yeah, Dave. So I've got the chat thing there. That's the screen on the actual laptop. Then to the right is the one with all the music and all the sound effects and all the stuff that I use. And then above that is the one that I use for everything else. And as of right now, there's a line going down the center of the monitor. It's, I don't know, greenish, bluish, but it's like dividing it. It looks to be exactly in half. I think that I accidentally activated some sort of mode where the you can do like a split screen, but I don't want it. And now I just have a line down the middle of the monitor, and there's nothing at all I can do about it. I bet if I just reboot the whole system, everything will be fine. But if I reboot the whole system, there's no show. So I can't do that. So I just have this annoying line in the middle of the monitor that is going to be distracting to me for the entire 2 hours of the show. And I don't know that you need to know about that, but I try to be clear and honest on the show and let you know what's going on. And I'm telling you right now, the entire show, I'm going to be staring at this line, thinking about how at 12:06 or something, I can reboot the computer and get rid of this stupid line that's I don't know what it's doing. I don't know why it's there. I hate it. And if I open up a screen, the line is right through the screen. I get that it's there. It's there for a reason. But it's not a reason that I don't need it to be there at all. And I hate it. So I'm distracted by a bluish, greenish line that's going down the middle of my screen for the whole show. I'm not going to let it bring me down. We're all going to be cool. Everything's going to be fine. But damn it. With regard to the Hard Knocks episode from last night, this would be an awesome time for someone who's in the chat to say, I watch, for example, Arbo. Arbo, you've never been on the show. Arbo, do you want to come on the show and talk about Hard Knocks? I didn't see it, but do you want to come on the show? Because I would love the plan written in. I didn't have it for the first segment because I never have a plan for the first segment. I just flap my gums about the first segment. But my plan, second segment, I've written in all capital letters, Hard Knocks. Because I was going to watch I just didn't watch it. I forgot. I didn't forget. I just didn't get to it. Like, I got home, and there was other stuff going on, and then I was tired, and then I just went to sleep. And then I was like, whatever. And I thought I would wake up early maybe and watch it, and I just didn't. And so I didn't see Hard Knocks. The Bills being on Hard Knocks is absolutely 100% the topic for right now. But I didn't see it, so I have no comment. I would love to, but I'm driving a garbage truck at the moment. Arbo, you can't drive a garbage truck and come on the show. You can listen to the show. I get it. That's what radio's for. Not everyone is available to always come on the show at all times. Somebody saw it. Somebody can come on and talk about it. Or we can ignore it, and we'll just do it tomorrow, and that's fine. Because I'll see it by tomorrow. I just didn't see it by today. Television does not exist in real time. It's not the same as it used to be. It used to be if you didn't see Cheers, you missed Cheers. That's it. You know? But then VCRs and then DVRs and then streaming services and what I haven't seen Hard Knocks yet. I'm sorry. I didn't watch. I can't wait to see it. I say that I can't wait, but I did wait and I am waiting. So I'm lying to you kind of, but I don't know, man. The main thing I wanted to do today is talk about our Bills on Hard Knocks, and I didn't watch Hard Knocks. So if you want to just sit tight, I can come back at like 11:30. We could do the show then and talk about Hard Knocks, or we can just pretend it didn't exist, get on with our lives. We'll just talk about the Billy Joel documentary again. I'm just kidding. Not real. Well, I don't know that I'm kidding. I haven't talked to Bob yet. Bob Gaughan's going to come on at 11 o'clock. And I don't know. I don't know what we're going to talk about with him. I know one thing we're going to talk about with him. Check this out. All right. I have this saved. Where is it? Not there. There. So Bob has talked about this. And then I ran across a clip online of Warren Sharp, and I should look up who he is. He's a football analyst guy, kind of made his own way. He's good. I like him a lot. He puts out a book every year. Warren Sharp. I'm going to do Wikipedia on Warren Sharp, just so you... We got Warren Sapp. There's nothing on Warren Sharp. Ah, come on, man. Warren Sharp. There isn't a Warren Sharp wiki page, but there are several well-known individuals with Warren or Sharp in their names, including Warren Sapp, Warren Spector. Balin Spector got cut today. Saw that. Oh, well. I've always been confused by his name anyway. I initially confused Balin Spector with Terrell Bernard, two Buffalo Bills. And Balin Spector always sounded like he worked at the bail bonds place. He's a bail inspector, but he's Balin Spector. That's always confused me. He's on the waived injured list. What does it say? Buffalo Bills roster moves. Hold on, this is a text I got this morning. They signed Jimmy Ciarlo or Carlo, Ciarlo, linebacker. Linebacker Balin Spector has been designated as waived/injured. Charlo is how you pronounce the name. Jimmy Charlo. He's in. Balin Spector is out. Jimmy Charlo. Let's see what we know about Jimmy Charlo. His face, initial take, this is not real. Initial take, though, on Jimmy Charlo is his face looks like a computer-generated face in the Madden or college football game. He looks fake. All right. Jimmy Charlo signed, originally entered the NFL with the Jets as an undrafted free agent out of Army. All right, yeah, he's pretty serious. Spent 2024 on the injured reserve list following an injury in the preseason. 4 years at Army, 40 games, 119 tackles, blah, 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 2 sacks. Great. As a senior captain, started all 12 games he appeared in, 5.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 56 tackles. Just a guy who played at Army. He replaces Balin Spector. There's your Bills news. I didn't see Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks recap from Harry on our chat. He says they got ice cream. I got ice cream 2 days ago. It was great. Dave says it's the best ice cream in Rochester. So yeah, so now we gotta fight about what's going on Hard Knocks. God, everybody get along, please. Everyone be cool. All right, it's Writer Radio. It's episode 138. It's August 6th, 2025. I'm getting it together with regard to the website. The website if you go to the website now, if you go to writerradio.com now, there's a button at the top that says listen live, and if you click it, you can hear the show. I think. I mean, I don't know, because I can't listen to the show while I'm doing the show. It's tough as a one-man band. let's see what happens here. I'm going to hit listen live on a computer that is connected to our whole audio. I just want to see what happens. All right, I'm going to listen live, play. All right, let's see. It's obviously it'll be a little behind. Okay. If I bring this up, do we hear anything? It's still like searching for it or something. Connecting. It's trying to connect. This will be fun. If it works. It's not working. For real? Like, I can't listen to myself? Ooh, what's this? Try Windows key and one of the left-right arrows to get rid of split screen. Okay. Windows key. Left. All right, something happened. Right. Now, things are moving around. They're bouncing from screen to screen. That's awesome. We're close. Mike, we're close. Jay Miller. I did not watch Hard Knocks. Good, perfect. Me neither. Best ice cream. What do you think about Micah Parsons? All right. I think a lot of things. Well, I'm sure I'll talk about it with Bob. Talked about it with Scott. I want him. And we determined with Micah Parsons. Who did I talk to about Micah Parsons? Scott, probably. Probably talked on Monday with Scott about Micah Parsons. Is that right? Or is it yesterday with somebody? I don't know. I think that it's awesome that the Bills would be like one of the first teams on a national level, if you were just looking at the NFL, saying Micah Parsons is available and just tried to place him somewhere fun, the Bills would be absolutely in the conversation. You know, the Chiefs want him too, you know, of course. But, like, where does it fit? What's the team that's ready to do the thing to make everybody super happy? It's the Bills. That's us. That's Western New York. There's a reason we're on Hard Knocks. I say we. It's us, right? That's a case where I think we applies. If you're just talking about the Bills playing the Jets, and it's like, we needed to make a tackle there. It's a little less cool. When we're talking about we are on Hard Knocks, I think, yes, Buffalo's on Hard Knocks. Western New York is on Hard Knocks. If you own a Bills jersey or a hat or a T-shirt, that's us. We're on there. That's why they're here. They're not, if not for the lunacy of the fan base, the Bills don't have the same story. Yes, Josh Allen is the lead story, but like number two is us. The lunacy that exists within Western New York about this stupid football team that never wins a Super Bowl. That's we're the story. We're fun. So good for us. When Micah Parsons becomes available, part of the reason that the world of NFL journalism looks at the Bills as a destination for Parsons is because of people going through tables and dressing like wrestlers and taking their shirts off in the snow and all the stuff that we do, all the stupid stuff that we do. And by we, again, I am maybe less a part of the lunacy than I am of the football team, but it's still we. It's still Buffalo. It's still Buffalo equals Western New York, equals people going through tables, equals Josh Allen, and then we're all in the same family, and it all fits together. So I'm not ashamed to say we when talking about the Bills. We need to get better. We need to get off the field. We need to stop somebody on third down. We need to close out a game when we're up with 13 seconds left. Like, that's we. I'm okay with we on all that. All right. We've got Bob. The music chart thing that I did yesterday was a massive hit, and I can't imagine living without the music charts again. It would be perfect if we were doing it in a world where I could just play the songs, but instead I just counted down the top 40 songs from August 5th, 1989, and it was awesome to me. And then I got a ton of good feedback on it. And then I was out last night. Last night was trivia night. So it was me and two of my kids and John Fuller and his daughter. And we did not win. We had a rough night. We had some confusion. We didn't do super well. But while playing trivia, we also play trivia. So it's kind of the way it works with my kids. John knows that my kids like trivia, so he's always got something prepared for them. So while we're sitting around playing trivia, he's got like a separate trivia thing going on just for the kids. And then we got through that, and it turned into the kids having to quiz John and I on top 40 hits from... We started with 1992. That was a massive mistake. Massive miscalculation on our part. Because what I did not realize until, I thought we'll know all the songs. Give me the top 40, we'll get 39 of them. Give me the song, I'll give you the artist. Between me and John, we'll kill it. What I did not remember is that in 1992, I was way, way too cool of a music fan. And I'm putting that in quotes and laughing at myself saying it. And John was the same way. Dude, Nirvana happened. We stopped caring what was going on in the top 40. And so 1992, we didn't know any of the stuff at all. I thought we did the top 100. I thought we'd get them all. Or, 97 of them. And not even close. Because once I'm listening to, Even Flow. Once Even Flow's in my head and Rusty Cage is in my head, I no longer know what's going on Kiss 98.5. I just had no idea. So we were bad at that. Then we swapped it out and went to 88, and we nailed it. 88, no problem. Nirvana hasn't happened yet. I'm in on all of the pop stuff. But all the Debbie Gibson and Tiffany and stuff were still happening. We had all of it. We had it. We were locked down, but we were very bad when it came to pop music while we were listening to Nirvana and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and things. Smashing Pumpkins. It was over. All right. Did I answer the Micah Parsons question? I want him here. I can't imagine that whatever it would take to get him in a trade would be anything that I would care about. I don't care about draft picks at all. You love to have them on draft day. The draft is fun, and it's more fun when you have more picks. But the season is more fun than the draft. And if you do really well in the season, your draft picks stink. And then who cares? So, yes, I mean, the Bills are... When you say, oh, my God, they gave up a first-round pick. Right now, thinking about the idea of a first-round pick. You're picturing, drafting 8th. The Bills aren't going to draft 8th. They're going to draft somewhere between worst-case scenario. They're going to draft 25th. Best case, they're drafting 32nd. So when you say first-round pick, you're not talking about one of the top guys in the draft. You're talking about Kyer Elam or Maxwell Hairston or Nate Odoms or whoever, Antoine Smith. You're talking about late-round picks they might as well be second-round picks. So a first-round pick, when you have Josh Allen, a first-round pick is 26th, 27th or lower. So you can have all of those, whatever you would like. 2 of them, sure. You can have 2 of those. You can have a lesser defensive end from me, which is Russo or Epinesa. And I like both of those players. I don't want them to just go away. But if one of them did to be replaced by Micah Parsons, that would be fine. So, yeah, 2 first-round picks. Don't care. One of those guys I just mentioned, don't care. Just go get them. How does the cap work? I don't know. It's kind of fake. You can fix it. If you're good, if you got somebody good with the books, that number is not real anyway. So what do I care? And then we move on. So, yeah, go get them. If he's really available, let's go. Trade Cook for Parsons is the question. Yeah, that's fine. I guess. I mean, that's not what I want. What are your thoughts on the WNBA dildo epidemic? I don't have one. We'll probably talk about that Friday, I think. People keep throwing dildos and vibrators on the court at WNBA games as if Tom Brady's playing in them. It was a Buffalo thing. I think that's that. All right, here are my thoughts on the WNBA dildo epidemic. I think Buffalo did that too. They got their idea from here. There was that pair of brothers. I don't know if they're Niagara County. They might have been Grand Island. A couple of dudes from Grand Island. Somebody got arrested for it. I don't know when it was. 7 years ago when somebody threw a dildo on the field when the Bills were playing the Patriots. And I think it had Brady's name on it. I'd have to go back and look. I don't have all the facts in front of me. But I think they took that from us. That's our thing. And we don't have a WNBA team, so it's nice to see it spreading elsewhere. And it's also nice to not have a WNBA team. Because, good God. All right. Warren Sharp talked this is going to be, you're going to hear it twice. I want to do it now, and I'm going to do it when Bob comes on, because I want him to hear it in case he's not listening right now, because he has a job and he's working. But Warren Sharp is a football analyst, and he had this to say. It will sound remarkably similar to what our living legend and grinder, Bob Gaughan, had to say about Josh Allen. Bob came up with these stats about Josh's numbers in playoff losses and how ridiculously good they are. That he's the greatest already, all-time, losing quarterback in NFL playoff history. And Warren Sharp is onto it. Here's what he had to say. People are just stealing our stuff. They're throwing dildos at games that aren't in Buffalo, and they're talking about Josh Allen's losing playoff numbers as it pertains to, hey, what's wrong with the Bills? Why can't they get over the top? Here's Warren Sharp. We'll do it again later when Bob's on, but I want you to hear it now.
I bet you didn't know this about the Buffalo Bills. Last year's Bills defense showed major regression, but was completely bailed out by turnovers. Last year, they allowed 36% of drives to reach the red zone. That was 30th in the NFL. They ranked 24th in yards per drive allowed. And here's a crazy one. Last year, they ranked 31st in highest rate of punts forced per drive. What saved them was that they ranked first with 18% of opponent drives ending in a turnover. How rare is it for a defense to rank 30th in rate of drives allowed to reach the red zone, but first in rate of drives to end with a takeaway? The 2024 Bills were the first defense since 2000 to be so bad as to allow 35% of opponent drives to reach the red zone while also generating turnovers on at least 16% of opponent drives. Look, the reason the Bills can't get it done in the playoffs isn't Josh Allen, it's Sean McDermott's defense. If you look at the 24 quarterbacks since 2020 with at least 50 pass attempts, Josh Allen is the best in the NFL. Number one in EPA per play, number one in success rate, and number one best touchdown to interception ratio. 25 playoff touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. But opponents are scoring an average of 33.2 points per game in the Bills' 5 playoff losses over that span. In those losses, Josh Allen still ranks number one in performance in EPA and success. His defense simply lets him down massively. Look at this. In the playoffs over the last 5 years, the Kansas City Chiefs are averaging 34.8 points per game against the Bills, but 24.8 points against everybody else. The Chiefs have scored 27 points in 100% of the games against the Bills, but just 3 out of 12 games against other teams in the playoffs have they scored 27 plus points. So the question is, what more can Josh Allen do? The answer is not much. The real question is, who's to blame? The answer for that is Sean McDermott.
Right? How about that? Now, that is listening to Warren Sharp. He is, to my knowledge anyway, a successful dude who just was like, I like football. I'm going to do stats, and I'm going to be good at this. And he, by all accounts, he's doing very well. He's interesting. He's cool. That said, listening to that audio without watching it and seeing numbers on the screen, holy crap, does that remind me how much I don't like listening to stat guys. I apologize. Like that sounded great when I was watching it, and the numbers were on the screen, and I could process it. Instead, listening to the audio, he just sounded like a dude saying numbers out loud. And man, do I hate radio shows full of dudes saying numbers out loud. That sucked. But his overall point was the same as Bob's. We'll play it for Bob, and then you'll see the difference between Warren Sharp, who's very good at what he does, and Bob, who's better at everything than everybody. Because we're just talking. Bob's better at talking. Warren Sharp laid out a compelling argument that would be cool in like a courtroom that I wouldn't pay attention to. It was good. But I liked it way less listening to it than I did watching it. And I apologize for that. But it reminds me that numbers don't make for good radio, I guess, is the point there. All right. I have to play a song, and all my songs disappeared because I did something stupid with the computer. And I remember I was going to do this one. Okay, there we go. Oh, nope, can't drag it. There we go. We're going to play a couple songs. We'll be back. Bob's in just after 11. And we shall continue with Writer Radio. It is episode 138. It's August 6th, 2025. I'm Brad. And let's go. Let's keep this thing rocking after De La Soul and somebody else. I want to just keep listening to Neil Diamond, but I won't. That was Cracklin' Rosie. Before that, we heard Runaway Baby from Bruno Mars, which is awesome, and Say No Go from De La Soul, which is awesome. I love all the songs. We heard The Mother We Share from Churches. We heard King Kunta from, what's his name? Super famous guy whose name is slipping my mind right now, Kendrick Lamar. And Total Eclipse of the Heart performed by the Dan Band. Those are the 6 songs that have played so far. I would tune into this show just for the music if I were you. The guy talking all the time, just blabbing, I don't have much use for him. But the music that gets played on the show is incredible, which is why you should go to the Spotify playlist and follow that. It's up to like 8 hours of music. 8 hours of perfect music for your block party or barbecue or car ride or whatever it is. It's all there. It's Writer Radio, the playlist. And you can find that if you go to writerradio.com. Hey, the only interaction I have with people, aside from like real life conversations with people who, like friends who listen to the show, the only interaction I have with listeners is through this chat right now. And I would like to know if someone could, I don't know how you listen. I don't know how it works. Like, that's what's weird. I sit here, I do the show. I know I'm doing a show. I know people are listening. I know people are interacting, but I don't know like how you're listening. So if you could let me know, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you to hear the show live and also hear the podcast version afterward. And the simplest way is writerradio.com. But even that, like setting up the website, is more complicated than I remember. So I'm doing it little tiny pieces at a time. And at last check, I put a listen live button at the top of the screen. Can one of you who's listening and is interacting and writing things on my screen, can you shut it down and just try this method, which is go to writerradio.com and hit the listen live button and see if that gets you there. And then let me know how that works. There's no way to know. There's no way for me to check it. It's just me. I'm a one-man band here. One-man Brad. Let me know if that's working. I'm trying to simplify everything. WriterRadio.com should be the answer to every question, because that will get you to YouTube, and that will get you to Spotify, and that will get you to MixLR, and that will get you to old episodes that are have the music scrubbed from them so that they can be online without me getting sued. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for everyone to be a part of the show. But someone has to check it out for me and then get in touch. All right. This is a fun story It's a baseball update. I've got no baseball. We had tryouts Monday, and that's also where we found out that Drew, the little guy, is playing in an all-star game. There was one kid selected per team, and Drew got selected to play in an all-star game at the end of the month. So that's super cool. He found that out. So he had his tryout. This is funny. He had his tryout. There are 11 or 12 kids on a team. He has his tryout. A lot of the kids are back, including Drew. There were some new kids that looked really good. We had a really good group of kids try out for this baseball team. We get to the end of practice. The coaches ask Drew to stay after the practice so they can talk to him. At the end of that practice, or that tryout, they talk to Drew and they tell him that he has been selected to be the all-star, the representative from the team in the all-star game. We get one, it's him. So essentially, it's Drew, hang out for a minute so that we can tell you you're awesome. That's basically what they're doing. It's super cool. And they have him stay there. But he's 8, so he doesn't get it like we do. We're adults. And we're like, this is a big thing. This is a big deal. We're telling him that he's the guy. From the whole team, he's the guy. And they tell him, and he's excited. He's happy. Yeah, cool. Yay, I get to play again. He just wants to play a baseball game. So they tell him that he's the all-star. So he's been selected from this year's team of 11 or 12 kids. The one kid that's going to the all-star game is him. And then they don't specifically say, also, you made next year's team. Tryout just happened. They just say, congratulations, you're our representative in the all-star game. So of all these kids, half of them, many of them will be back on the team. There will be some new kids, but we haven't named the team yet. We haven't named the roster. They tell Drew, you're the all-star. He leaves and goes, I hope I make the team. I said, I think you're probably in good shape, buddy. They just told you that you were the best player on last year's team. And now most of the kids from last year's team will be back. And, we'll probably see some new faces. A couple kids left. A couple kids stayed down because they were young enough. And, there's going to be some room for some new kids. But I don't know, dude. I have a hunch that the coaches who, after the tryout, told you were the best player on last year's team, they might choose you to play on next year's team. They might. But he got the official phone call last night, and so he was psyched. So congrats to Drew for making his 9U travel team as it moves up from 8U, and he was the all-star, the one all-star. And then, you get to stay on the team, dude. You get to stay if they pick you as the top guy. All right, baseball update. Does not have anything to do with my kids. This is only about the Portland Pickles. You know about the Portland Pickles? Portland Pickles are a minor league baseball team. They had a special event, fan appreciation night. A fan got a chance to live out a dream, stepping up to the plate in a real game. They had a contest. They picked a fan, and the fan of the game, fan of the year, whatever it was, got to play in the game. The fan was known as Dixie, and he hit a 2-run home run. He was wearing shorts and an unbuttoned shirt, and he walked up in a minor league baseball game, and he hit a home run. It was awesome. The scene was straight out of a movie. Dixie, wearing a jersey that didn't match the Pickles and wearing shorts and sneakers, stood in the batter's box with confidence. In his first at-bat, he drew a walk and eventually scored. In the 8th inning, his batting became legendary. Bob's calling. All right, I'm trying to tell a story, but hold on. I'm going to plug the phone in, see if this works quickly enough to matter. Of course not. Bob, I'll call you in a minute. You don't hear me, but we'll get back to you. I'm telling a story right now. Then I'm going to play a song. Then I'm going to talk to Bob. All right. Dixie, wearing a jersey that didn't match the Pickles and sporting shorts and sneakers, stood in the batter's box with confidence. In his first at-bat, he drew a walk, eventually scored. It was the 8th inning that his batting became legendary, hitting a shot that left everyone speechless. Walker Stadium is known for its themed events and wild antics, but Dixie's moment was one for history books. It's not every day you see a fan actively participate in a game, let alone hit a home run. These kinds of experiences are what make baseball such a special and beloved sport. The story is clearly written by AI and it sucks, but I wanted to tell you the story. Their roster, the Portland Pickles aren't just about jokes and entertainment. The roster has included players who now shine in the MLB, like Guardian slugger Kyle Manzardo. This shows that while the spectacle is of their essence, they also know how to develop quality talent. There's nothing left in the story. Bottom line, a fan won a contest, got to play in a game, and hit a 2-run home run in the 8th inning, and it was awesome. He had shorts on. He looked like every call-up softball player. All right, now, Bob. All right, hold on. I'm going to answer the phone, Bob, because Bob is calling. Bob's calling me. Hi, Bob.
Hey, Brad.
How are you, Ben?
Doing great.
I'm in the middle of talking. I was telling a story, then I was going to play a song, then I was going to call you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm done with my story. I'm going to play like a little tiny thing, and then we'll talk to you live on the radio. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Stay right there. I got to find the thing to play because I'm not ready for you yet, but you were calling. It was the second time you called, and I tried to answer the first time. I couldn't quite get there. Where is here? Okay. I'm going to play one thing real quick, and then we'll talk to you.
The way my kids date now, it's so simple. They go on an app, whether it's Grindr or whatever, they swipe right, swipe left, and they get the date automatically.
Let's check in with Writer Radio's
living legend,
Bob Gaughan.
That's all I wanted to play. I wanted to play the thing where you talked about Grindr. What's up, man? How are you, Bob?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm
Everything right?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. The show's coming together. I'm feeling the show coming together. We're turning it into there's a system in place where it's becoming regimented and automatic, and I like it.
Well, that is good, and I love talking to you. And I want to start off because I think one of your strengths is that you have, and you used to do one of your famous things, your BS detector. Don't you think that you have a good detector for BS? Pretty good.
Like a truth detector type of deal?
Truth detector, yeah, truth detector. Yes.
Yes,
but,
I got
but
it.
on the other hand, you might also, from being a talk show, you might respect somebody that can BS you, right? A little bit.
No, I have no respect. No, yeah, I do. Go ahead, Bob. I just wanted to play the no noise, but yes, I do. Go ahead.
So my question to you is, where do you stand? Do you respect this, or do you call this out?
Okay.
The person that came up with today, the Erie County Fair is the 12 best days of summer.
No.
Who came up with that? Do you respect that and say, my God, that is such a load of crap that I almost respect that somebody would even have the audacity.
Yeah.
They would have the balls
Yeah.
to actually claim that these are the 12 best days of summer. So I mean, it's almost like I can't believe anybody would even suggest that.
Yeah.
So I almost respect it.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
Honestly, Bob, it takes you to turn me to the respect part of it. But I agree. It's the worst. I can't think of anything I like less than the Erie County Fair. I hate the Erie County Fair. Everything about it sucks. But that is the way to promote it. If you're running the Erie County Fair. That's the way to do it. So I will say, like, I have thought I'm going back 30 years now. Erie County Fair existing means summer is over. So that right off the bat, incorrect. Like, it's false. Just even if the fair is awesome, once the fair hits, if I'm a high school student, I know that the fair coming means summer's over and this sucks. So there's no chance that it's the best. And then you go to it, and it's worse than you thought. It's a terrible place to go. It's a terrible place to be. I never want to go again. We went early in our kids being born. I told my wife my least favorite thing in the world is the Erie County Fair. And she's like, yeah, I know, but let's. And I agreed. I acquiesced. Fine. We went. It sucked. We probably went 2 years, maybe 3 years, and we stopped. And she hasn't even remotely brought it up again because I was proven correct. It's a terrible place to be. Everything about it's horrible. But if I'm in charge of promoting this horrible event that lasts for 2 weeks, calling it the best days of summer is the right move. So I'm on the respect train. As it comes to your question, I respect it. I hate the fair. I respect the marketing.
And the other thing is that I was telling this story to somebody, and they said, I know somebody that goes every day and loves it. And I said, the person that you know is a loser, right? I mean, if you know somebody, as you're telling this story, somebody
100%.
says, oh, I go every single day. I can't wait to go. I'm thinking, you're an absolute loser. I want nothing to do with you. I have no respect for you whatsoever. I don't care what your opinion is on the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Because I don't care what your position is on politics. I don't care what your position is on life. If you tell me that you go every single day to the Erie County Fair, I have no value in your opinion on life in general. Would you agree with that?
I have one disagreement. Like, I would say, if that's your thing, if for whatever reason you just love the Erie County Fair, and then you buy a house right near the Erie County Fair so that you can always go to the Erie County. Like, okay, that's fine. Everybody's got a thing. Like, I hear the song Love in an Elevator by Aerosmith on the radio, and I think, this is someone's favorite song. This song is terrible, but it's somebody's favorite song. And if you are that into your song, and your song is the Erie County Fair, and you bought a house next to the Erie County Fair so that the 12 happiest days in the universe happen right next to you, okay, that's whatever. It's fine. To each his or her own. I get that. If you live a mile from the Erie County Fair and you think that's the greatest thing and you go every day, loser. Like, I'm with you on that part. But I do respect the fact, like, I do a radio show from my house. It's weird, man. Like, I'm a weirdo. People might think, look at this guy. He's just doing a show for nobody. Why? I don't know. I like it. If you really like the Erie County Fair, it's okay. It's fine. But yes, I'm judging you. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'm judging you, and I'm not inviting you to my house ever. If your favorite thing in the world is the Erie County Fair, I don't want to hang out with you. We don't have much in common because that's my least favorite thing, and it's your favorite thing. So, that's kind of where I land.
Now, I mean, you could argue Bill's training camp. If somebody said that is like the best 12 days of summer, I at least would respect that a little bit more, even though I think some of those practices are boring. But it comes around the same time.
I think I would feel about the same way, honestly. Yeah. Like, I get why you would want to. Every year we go to training camp one day. Like, I would get why you would say that. I take my kids. It's a nice, pleasant way to experience the Bills without the competition and whatever. Like, I could get it, but I would also say, massive loser. If you go to every day of camp, yeah, I would hate that.
I'm watching Hard Knocks last night, and they're showing all the fans coming in to watch training camp, right? I didn't have the same feeling. Oh boy, those are a bunch of losers walking in there. I didn't have that same feeling that I have sometimes when
when it comes to Erie County
walking
Fair.
Into the Erie County Fair. Yeah, exactly. Walking.
I see. This is where I think I'll disagree. I do have that feeling about some of it. Some of the. If you make your identity about a thing that has nothing to do with you, then I lose some respect. So if you're a massive Taylor Swift fan, like that's your identity is I love Taylor Swift, or your identity is I love the Bills, or your identity is I love the fair, I have the same lack of respect for you. They're all kind of equal. Like, I don't know. When you make your identity about a thing that has nothing to do with you, I don't like it a lot. So okay, go ahead, go on. Let's talk about the camp. Let's talk about. I didn't see Hard Knocks yet. I didn't see Hard Knocks yet.
But, I don't think you missed much. I don't think it was that great of an episode, to be honest with you. I mean, they focus in, and I think, Josh Allen looks great. I will say that. Josh Allen looks like, one thing you do come away with is, I'm so happy that this guy is the quarterback for the team that I'm rooting for.
Yeah, it's still crazy. The more I think about it, every time I think about the fact that he landed here, I mean, it's unbelievable. We have a Josh Allen-based economy in Western New York at this point. He's that cool. He's that impressive. He's that There's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing at all wrong with him. He's wonderful. He's the girls want him and the guys want to hang out with him, and that's all you could possibly ask for in a quarterback. That and being able to throw and run as far and quickly as possible. So yeah, he's perfect.
And the only other thing I think you're going to come out of the episode is I'm not wild that my starting left tackle is into drifting in a car. Drifting with a vehicle where you go really fast and you kind of slide. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I wish that my left tackle Deion Dawkins might pick up another hobby rather than that, because I just see the possibility of car accident, here going on. So that was my other take, if you would, from last. So they kind of focused in on Josh Allen, Trey White, which is probably pretty good because it looks like he's definitely going to be, starting with the Harrison injury, and Deion Dawkins. So those were probably the three that were focused in more last night. And like I said, I didn't think it was a particularly great episode, but that was my one, I guess,
all right.
Concern.
I saw the word drifting pop up in the online chat during the show here, and didn't know what we were talking about. Now that I know that it's Deion Dawkins. What was the footage? Was there footage of him drifting, or is he just talking? So where's he? No. Is he doing this on roads? Is he doing this on dirt?
No.
What's he doing?
No, it looks like he's got his own little parking lot that he does this in, that he owns, and things like that. There's other cars around that are doing it. I mean, he's obviously confident. He brings his kids in the car with him. I mean, they are wearing helmets and things like that. But it looked if you watch it, and again, he's doing it by him in a property that looks like it's owned by him in a what you would consider maybe a parking lot setting and things like that. I'm still saying though I'm just a little concerned. I don't want to lose my left tackle because he drifted into a wall.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. That's the only thing.
Well,
maybe he's good at it. That thing never really interested me. Like going fast in a car, I don't know about you, but it's never really. That was never my thing. It's not like I see people bucket lists. I want to go on the Indy 500 and I want to drive 225 miles an hour. No, I could care less. Really, never. Never gone probably over 80 in my life, and I'm okay with it. Some people out there might think, well, you're a loser if you've never gone over 80. Yeah. I just really have never. That's not my thing.
I will say. All right, so here's my fastest driving experience. We went on our honeymoon. We were at some weird sex resort or something in the Poconos. We didn't know that it was that. My wife didn't want to get on a plane, and so we're like, all right, where can we drive? So we were in some place in the Poconos. It was fine, but it was one of those heart-shaped bed, and it was weird. It was weird. But one of the things, I think for the wedding, I bought her tickets to Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. So we're in the Poconos, and we had to go there, and we were running a little bit late. And it was her car. It was a Pontiac G5 or something, little car, and I would say I averaged about 95 miles an hour driving from the Poconos to New York City. And it was exhilarating and absolutely awesome. And I'm glad I did it, and I don't want to do it again. So I will say, Bob, you should once be in a car and go really, really, really fast and drive it. It's awesome, but it was it's a little terrifying, and I don't need to ever do it again. But I'm happy to say that I remember seeing 95 on the speedometer and thinking this is cool. But it was once.
I was going the fastest. I'll be honest. My father's taking a nap. We're going to a Notre Dame game,
Okay.
and we're on the Indiana toll road. And he wakes up and he says, "You're going 85." That might have been the fastest I've ever gone. And I said, "I'm going 85, and if you look, I'm in the right-hand lane,
Right.
and I'm getting passed." So I mean, yes, I am going 85, but I don't know what the speed limit was, but nobody was adhering to it,
Right.
and that was probably the fastest I ever was going, and I was in the right-hand lane.
All right, so
because
so picture I'm doing the same thing, except I'm not in the right-hand lane. I was on a road. I mean, everyone was going 85, and I was going 95 because I was in the left. But I literally drove, for an hour at like 95 miles an hour, and it was awesome. But I wouldn't do it now. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of it rains a little bit. I'm afraid I'm gonna slide. I don't know. I'm old and scared now.
Well, one thing you are good at, we hope, is good journalism.
Yeah, I'm a journalist.
That's harder to find now. What do you think of this? People insult, of course, in politics. The Democrats and Republicans, people insult Trump because they say that he's putting pressure on CBS to fire Colbert. You know what I think, though, Brad? And this is what nobody gets on the NFL. I really think that Donald Trump took his lesson from Roger Goodell in the NFL in terms of putting pressure on. There's no. Like if you're in politics and you want to hear something bad about the Republicans, you can watch MSNBC, right? If you want to hear something bad about the Democrats, you can watch Fox News. There's nothing bad that comes out about the NFL because they own everybody. They really do. We talked about this with the collusion issue. I don't know if you heard the story, but the head of the Players Association had to step down. He was kind of double dipping. He was working for an agency that essentially worked for the NFL. So he's working for the Players Association, and through this third party, he's working for the NFL. You might not have heard the story because it doesn't get because it doesn't get covered. They don't cover. It's amazing to me. Like everybody, because they're on every single network, and now it's getting worse. I just saw the story that came out like ESPN's buying the NFL Network, right? And in the Red Zone channel, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Wait, why? Why don't we like that? Hold on. I'm sure you're right, but I haven't processed it because you're just saying it now. Why? What's wrong with that?
For instance, like for draft coverage, I think the NFL Network was harder on the NFL than ESPN is. I mean, I don't like people like Adam Schefter. I don't like Adam Schefter at all.
No, I don't either.
But people don't get that. Why does Adam Schefter break every story? Well, he breaks every story because everybody's butt, and his the contract comes out and it's garbage. Like Adam Schefter will break every story, but his payback to the general managers, and he pays back every agent. So his contract will come out, and he'll say it was a 5-year deal versus $50 million. And Adam Schefter broke the story, and that's a payback to the agent. And then you know what happened 3 days later? We found out it was a 1-year deal for 12.
Right.
They can get out, right?
From Mike Florio.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's what happened. And now that's, who's going to be, I think, a bigger part. I'm not wild about ESPN's coverage because I think that there's no one critical. Like I said, unbelievably, when it came to the draft, I thought that the NFL Network, even owned by the NFL, was more critical than ESPN. So I'm not sure, and I hope they don't replace Chris Hansen. If they do, maybe with Andrew Siciliano, who I kind of loved from DirecTV. But I certainly don't want an ESPN personality doing the Red Zone channel.
Wow. All right. Well, that's this is all. Who is I want to go back to the first part there. Who is this person that was fired or removed or whatever from the NFLPA? Like, who are we talking about?
Lloyd Powell. His name is Lloyd Powell. He stepped down a little while ago, and he was a paid consultant for something called the Carlyle Group, which was being paid by the NFL. So he was basically working both sides. He had sexual discrimination things going back to 2011. He held the players' arbitration decision. He was getting ridiculed for that. So there's several reasons why he stepped down.
Right.
You don't know any of them, nor does anybody listening, because this is how This is how stories get buried now. And again, this is going back to politics. This is what happens that when if you watch if you're a Democrat and you just watch MSNBC, they just don't even talk about things that are critical of Democrats. Same thing with Fox News and the Republicans. But I said you can get the other side. My point being, and this is why I say Trump gets his lead from Goodell. You don't ever get the bad in the NFL unless, like we said, Florio is probably one of the few that does it. Otherwise, it's just they have like a monopoly on the news, and anything bad comes out, we just don't cover. We don't even talk about it.
It's amazing that Florio, the way that Florio started, and Mike Florio is ProFootballTalk.com. The way that he started was I think the first I became aware of him was when he was the one who had, and this was when you were doing a show with Ann Burke on GR. And he was the one who broke the story that Dennis Miller was coming to Monday Night Football. And it was nowhere else. It was like, who is this guy? What's he talking about? And he was 100% right. And then he built credibility off that to the point where the NFL, world, not necessarily the league, but like the overarching business of pro football hired him to where he's tied into NBC now. And I guess they're less connected to the NFL than ABC, but still, it's, I don't know, it's weird. Like, the best guy we've got is still in some way influenced by the thing that he's covering, which, that's bad for journalism. I like journalism, and it's dead.
I got to hand it to you. Ann was the one that found him. I didn't even know him at the time, and Ann Burke said, we got to get this guy on. I think he's good, and he turned out to be awesome.
You're right.
Absolutely awesome. And so, I give her all the credit in the world. She found him when he was a nobody, and now he's on NBC. And yes, he's one of the few people, though, I agree with you, though. He's one of the few people that I think is good at journalism when it comes to covering the NFL. And when we talk about good journalism surrounding the NFL, we can count on one hand and have fingers left over, I think, when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think we can have 4 fingers. I can't think of anyone else who that I trust. I mean, honestly, even people that I formerly trusted now work for either teams or the league. So that they've bought up the entire I have not spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I'm bothered by it, as you can probably hear if you're just listening to the show. I'm it's coming into focus for me, and that's why we have you on, Bob, because you bring cool stuff into my brain. But I'm just thinking about guys that when I was first in radio, we used to call people oh, this guy covers the Jets or the Bengals or the Buccaneers or whatever, and then the best ones, the ones that were awesome, ended up, oh, now he works for the league. Oh, now he works for that team. And it just kind of went away. And it's, it's a smart move, obviously, but I don't know what we do about it. I don't know how we get, I don't know what's true anymore. You don't know what's, the news isn't the news anymore. And this is the little football version of it. But, I don't know. I'm just at yuck. All right.
All right. Lastly, can I finish with? Can I run a total past you? Tell me if you like it or not.
You can do anything you'd like, Bob.
I think. Can't you see? I think the Dolphins might be a disaster this year. Tire fire.
Think so.
The over under 7.5. I think I like the under. Are you going to talk me out of it, or do you like it too? I mean, I think that Tyreek Hill quitting. It's not a matter of will he do it? It's when, right? I mean, he's definitely quitting on the team. It seems like the word out of there. And I think McDaniel's kind of lost control. He's definitely, I think the bloom is off of the rose of McDaniel as a coach. They got no backup to Tua. I don't know. I just think this season could be a disaster for the Dolphins. I'm thinking of betting under 7.5 for the Dolphins. Do you like it or not?
I want to know if there is an alternate line where I can bet under 3.5.
Okay.
I think there is nothing there. The McDaniel, I'm torn on him because I appreciate someone coming in with a different approach and just kind of being, little wacky, little crazy. I get that. But the second that things go wrong in that situation, you're screwed, because there are everyone who got to the Dolphins, who went through Little Loop football and high school football and college football and the draft or the free agency process and landed as a, one of the top 500 football players in the league, or whatever in the world, 1,000, however many people are in the league. They got there through like traditional football thinking. And then you get there and you've got a guy who's a little nuts, a little crazy. And it is awesome when you're a little nuts and a little crazy until it doesn't go well. And then people are like, "What is this guy doesn't know football?" And that is seconds from happening. And it's gonna it's tough to have that guy be the leader, but if he's in and it's going well, it's cool. And that was 3 years ago that was true. And little by little, it's like, part of it is they can't beat the Bills. They're never going to beat the Bills. That team is not going to beat the Bills. So how are they going to win the division? How are they going to? They're never going to get to the playoffs while Josh exists. So there's, we've been through this. The Bills could not get through Tom Brady. The Dolphins will not get through Josh Allen. It's just, 1 year maybe it might happen, but it's like as a regular recurring thing, they're not going to overtake the Josh Allen team. And when you don't overtake the Josh Allen team, and then you've got this nerd as your coach, and I like it. I like letting nerds into society. I like free thinkers, different thinkers, overthinkers, Moneyball, like that type of. I like that. But when it doesn't work, you just look like a jackass. And that moment is coming very soon, I think, for McDaniel and the Dolphins, and he'll be a coordinator somewhere else, and he'll be great. But him as a head coach running the show and being the spokesman and the face of the organization is not going to work when you've got Tua, Zach Wilson, and Quinn Ewers as your quarterbacks. You're dead. You're dead. And Josh Allen in the division, they're dead. So yes, I'm absolutely 100% under with you. Under, what'd you say, 7.5? That's insane.
7.5. They got to go 7 and 10.
Yeah,
is
no
what,
problem. No
can't
problem.
go 8 and 9.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. In life, if you're eccentric, you better be successful.
Right.
Because if you're eccentric, it's like, this guy, he beats his own drum, but he's successul. When you are eccentric and you lose, that is
now you're just an idiot.
Well, you're an idiot. Exactly. That's where we're going, I think. All right, Brad.
That might be me. I might be that. It's all right. Yeah. It's all right. I'll do my show. We'll see how it goes. I think it's a good show. You think it's a good show. Do other people? I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little. I have respect for McDaniel, but I also see the way the wind blows when things don't go well. So, all right, man. Good to talk to you. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Bob.
You got it, Brad.
All right.
See you.
Bob Gaughan, just grinding, just continuing to grind. It's what he does because he's the man.
The way my kids date now, it's so simple. They go on an app, whether it's Grindr or whatever, they swipe right, swipe left, and they get the date automatically.
All right, let's bring it back. Turn that down. That's down. We're good. All right. What's up, Writer Radio? It's episode 138 of Writer Radio. That's a lot of talking. A lot of me. I really appreciate every single one of you that is like hanging out listening to the crap that comes out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm just hanging out. Like I like doing this. So I'm doing it. It is not yet profitable, but I'm working on that. I've got a notebook I'm writing in. And at the top of the page of the notebook right now, it says sales initiative. And there's a thing coming. There's a push coming. If you are one of the people listening to this show right now, I apologize for all of the things that I'm going to ask you to do, but I'm also going to offer you like a T-shirt to help me promote this thing, because that's what we have to do. We have to grow it. Like, there's a thing. We've got a little club going, and it's awesome, and I love it. But we have to turn it into a real thing because I want to do this every day till I'm dead. And I want you to listen every day till you or I is dead. You or I is dead. You or I are dead. Whatever. Till we're dead. Like, I want to do this. This is fun, right? We're having fun together. We've got this little cool thing where it's like an underground little club. Like, I think of, there's a bar in New Orleans, and it's called the Dungeon, and you probably don't know about it because you have to have someone tell you about it. And it doesn't open until midnight, and it's off of Bourbon Street. It's not on Bourbon Street. It's over there. Like, you have to get there. You have to have someone tell you. Someone cool has to tell you, has to think you're cool, and then tell you, hey, when you're in New Orleans, here's the place to go for real. Everyone else is over here. You need to go there. You need, like, the password. You need someone to like, link you to the thing. And then you get there, and it's the best place ever. And it's the bar where I met Nick Cage. It's the bar where I met 311 and Alien Ant Farm were there. It's a bar where I wasn't there for 6 months, and I walked in, and the bartender knew my drink, which was just a Corona. It's no big deal, but, like, I was there in October. I guess it's not 6 months. I was there in October, I think, and then I was there in February. And I walked in, and the bartender's like, Corona, right? Like, yeah. It's a club. You are in the club. And I need the club to help grow the club. So that's going to happen. There are going to be some demands placed on you for being a regular listener to Writer Radio, this show that I'm doing from my house. I think it's a good show. You obviously think it's, I'm not going to say you think it's good, but you think it's worth your time. So if you think it's worth your time, I'm going to need the people who think it's worth their time to spread the word to other people to say, hey, this might be worth your time as well. And all of that's coming. I'm not going to read what's written in the notebook to my right. I'm just using the thing to my left and the stuff in front of me to talk about what's actually happening. But this is coming. If you're here right now and listening, you're going to be tasked with spreading the word. And I'm going to incentivize you to do so. We'll start with shirts and hats and magnets and stickers and things. But also money. Like, there's going to be money to be made by you, the current listeners, an hour and 45 minutes into the show. You are my people. I need you to help me. But I'll pay you. So it'll be fine. All that's coming very soon. There's going to be like a membership type of thing where you sign in once I get the website up and running fully, where you sign in and you're like, yeah, this is my name, here's my phone number, here's my email address, and here's how you pay me. Like, that's coming. So stick around. Start spreading the word for free right now. Spread the word. Tell people to listen. But this is what we're doing. And you're in. Whether you like it or not. Well, if you don't like it, you can leave. That's fine. You can just go. But I need your help. I'm going to need your help. And there's a plan. I'm working on the plan for that. Because I want this to be a real thing. It is a real thing. You're tuning in. You're listening. I'm doing this every day. Weekdays. But there's that. All right. So here's a story came up. Ex-NFL player convicted for operating dogfighting ring, ... again. Now he faces up to 30 years in prison. And, of course, everyone in America who saw that link went, oh, no, Michael Vick. It's not Michael Vick. It's a guy named LaShawn Johnson. I don't know who that is. LaShawn Johnson's shameful career operating a dogfighting enterprise of immense magnitude is as long as it is grisly. Far longer than his stint as a running back, even if his season as the leading rusher in college football is included, along with his 5 years in the NFL. The Department of Justice announced Monday that a federal jury in Oklahoma convicted Johnson of violating Federal Animal Welfare Act prohibitions against possessing, selling, transporting, and delivering animals to be used in fighting ventures. I feel like most articles I read end up being I can sense that they're AI written. This one does not feel AI written at all. Feels like a pretty good writer. It's attributed to someone named Steve Henson at the LA Times. But this feels like real words written by a person, which I like. LaShawn Johnson, operated in the open plains of East Oklahoma, not far from where he grew up, faces a maximum of 30 years in prison, 5 years for each of the 6 felony counts. Also faces a fine of up to $250,000 on each count. That's a lot. I don't know how dogfighting rings run, but my guess is that he's not a zillionaire from running a dogfighting ring. It seems like a low-level situation. All right. Authorities took 190 pit bulls. 190 pit bulls. Holy crap. And other dogs from his property, the most ever seized from an individual in a federal dogfighting case. Many were scarred and injured. Well, yeah. Authorities also uncovered treadmills, bite sticks, steroids, and records that detailed the fight arrangements and wagering. The verdict culminated in a 2-year investigation that included raids on Johnson's properties in Broken Arrow, and Haskell, Oklahoma. Operating under the name Malcant Kennels, he was found to have bred, trained, and fought dogs in multiple states. Finished 6th in Heisman voting in 93. Also had a conviction in Oklahoma State Court for dogfighting in 05, which preceded the much publicized dogfighting conviction of Mike Vick by 3 years. So 3 years before the Vick thing, we cared about him because he was a star. 3 years before that, this guy, LaShawn Johnson, was doing the same thing. He was arrested in 04 in Tulsa. They found a calendar that detailed his breeding and fight schedules. Fights were listed so far back that investigators believed he fought dogs during his NFL career, which ended in 99. Man, sometimes you click a link and it's a thing. This is a thing. This is a major thing. Fighting dogs is a fun thing, a hobby to some athletes, said an NFL Pro Bowl running back who asked not to be named. Yeah, good choice. People are crazy about pit bulls. Guys have these nice, big, fancy houses, and there is always a pit bull in the back, and everyone wants to have the biggest, baddest dog on the block. I don't live in this world. Oh, good. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are in the story. They both issued statements condemning dogfighting and lauding the conviction of Johnson. Bondi said, the criminal profited off of the misery of innocent animals, and he will face severe consequences for his vile crimes. Patel said, the FBI will not stand for those who perpetuate the despicable crime of dogfighting. Thanks to the hard work of our law enforcement partners, those who continue to engage in organized animal fighting and cruelty will face justice. These are incredibly bold statements by Pam Bondi, who is the Attorney General of the U.S., and Kash Patel, who's the FBI director. Very, very strong statements by the same people who are shutting their mouths about the Epstein stuff. Okay. I don't want to be a part of the distraction. But a dogfighting story with an NFL player is interesting. And I don't know how to not make it interesting. It is. But also, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, I'm going to need you to pursue the larger situation, which is this Epstein thing that's hanging over all of us all the time. I don't talk about the Epstein thing because it keeps changing, and I don't know. But we all know. But I don't know. So yeah, we should stop dogfighting. But also, if super important people to our nation are involved in a pedophilia thing, like that's probably bigger. I don't know. I ignore it. I'm ignoring it. But our whole country is hanging out under that cloud right now. And pretending it doesn't exist is helping me, like, do a show. But we could do every minute of every show about the Epstein thing, and it would drive me nuts. But it's probably more important than the dogfighting thing. I don't know. I like dogs. We all like dogs. Who doesn't like a dog? And then, having dogs kill dogs. Oh, you're a jerk for having a dog kill a dog. But once Bondi and Patel are involved in the story, now I want to shut it down and not talk about it. I've done everything I can to not dwell on the Epstein thing that is hanging over us. And I'm not going to switch it because I read a dogfighting story. I'm not doing that. All right. I'm going to play a song. We're almost done here, I think. Do I have a song ready to go? No, I don't. God. All right. What would you like to hear? Real quick. If anyone requests anything right now in the comments, you'll get to hear your song. But I'm going to just play So Lonely by The Police.
Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?